Hello, welcome to Hatha Yoga, and today we're going to have a nice stretchy class, but I'm also going to be purposely giving modifications for people with wrist issues. So if you're someone's like, well, I can't do down dog, it bothers my wrist. I can't do a plank because it bothers my wrist. I can't do cat cows because it bothers my whatever it is. I'm going to be giving modifications today for you to help combat that. But as always, if you do not need that modification and you want to do, the regular down dog, regular on all fours, anything like that, then please feel free to go there. Do what your body needs you to do. So prop wise, we're going to use a strap here in a moment, just in the beginning to kind of get into the side body a little bit and the shoulders. Other than that, we're not going to use this anymore during the practice. So just know that we will use this in the beginning. A stretchy band, if you've got one of those, will work just as well. We will be using blocks today. I'm going to be using them to give the modifications. I may also need them for triangle and pyramid variation that we're going to get into later. So you bring in the blocks as you need for your practice. And if you need the wrist modifications, then you will definitely want a couple. Okay. And then I'm sitting on a folded blanket. You can have that for knee cushion as needed or for any other purpose. So coming to a nice tall seat, whatever that looks like for you, you're going to zip up the front to support that nice tall spine. So the belly button is in to the spine. Shoulders are going to relax down here, ears, shoulders, and hips, and relative alignment. Maybe taking a slight tuck in the chin. Eyes can be open or closed. As we're here, just kind of take a moment, kind of settle in, maybe softening just a little bit more. And then we'll take the hands to the heart and we'll set our intention. So your intention can be anything you want. So it can be, what would you like to give or receive from this practice? The affirmations I'm going to give you today are around health and wellness or health and healing. You can always come up with your own. And once you have that set, good, we will come here and we'll open our eyes. So we're going to stretch a little bit before we come into our breath practice. So from here, let's take a big inhale and reach, 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 reach. Exhale, take a nice little side bend here. Now, this should be okay for the wrist because you're not really weight bearing here. The weight is coming down here. And it's okay to bend that elbow as needed as well. Watch for that forward collapse. You want to open that up. Nice long top arm. That gives you a little bit more activation through the side body versus one that's just hanging here. And then we'll use the obliques, the side axe, to come up. Let's just take that right into the other side and reaching over. And breathe and expand that rib cage on that inhale. And then we'll come back up. Big inhale and reach. Good. Let's rotate towards the left. Arms are going to come down, rolling shoulders back, maybe looking a little bit more behind you. Maybe taking this front shoulder here a little bit more behind you. Notice how that gives you a little bit more of a stretch in the neck. And then we'll come up. Let's take that right into the other side. Arms are going to come down, rolling shoulders behind you. Taking this front shoulder back just a little bit more. Breathe and expand. And then from here, we'll lift and come back to center. Good. From here, let's take that strap. Good. Now you can, depending on your arm length here, you can hold this however you need to. So I'm folding my long strap here in half. And so if you've got a traditional yoga strap here or a belt, kind of hold on to the buckle end. So when we move, this isn't going to swing around and hit you in the face. If you've got a stretchy band, you won't really have to worry about that. And some of you may need not to fold it in half, depending on how long yours is. But I'm going to thread here between the pointer and the thumb, and my arms are going to stay long. So I'm just going to take that up. Good. Maybe taking it behind for just a moment. Breathing and expanding. We're staying nice and tall with that spine. And then we'll take that back forward. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale to lift. Exhale once you get there. And we're just looking for stretchies here, not necessarily range of motion. And then taking that back forward. Now, we're going to take this moving forward and back a little bit. And you just kind of go where your range is. So I'm not taking this all the way back to my hips today. I'm just moving forward and back. I want a little bit of a different kind of stretch in the shoulder and in the front of the chest. And then just moving with the breath. Good, and then let's take that up here. Now, I'm going to undo my half. I've still got my hand at my buckle. Good, and then I'm gonna side bend here. Good, my hand, this hand here is not going to the floor, but I'm just letting it get a little bit of a different side stretch. Again, watch for that forward shoulder collapse. Could you open that up? And then when you're ready, we'll come in all the way back up. Let's get that other side. Oh, nice big armpit stretch here. This is my tighter side. You might have a body today that's tight on both sides or open on both sides. And then we'll come up. Good. Now I'm going to come over. I'm going to let this hand, which happens to be my left hand, come all the way down. And I'm going to secure it to the floor with my hand. Good. So we're going to move forward and back here. We're just getting into things. So I'm just back and forward. And open and close. And one more time. And open and close. Good. We'll take that back up. Redo any adjustments with your grip that you may need. And then we'll take that over. I'm going to secure this strap to the floor. And same thing. We're just going to open and close. And open and close. And open and close, coming back to center and coming back up. Good. So we're going to put this to the side. We will not need this anymore for this practice. Good. Shake out anything that needs to be shook out, rolling those shoulders around. Now that we're a little bit more open, a little bit less tight, a little bit freer, especially in the side intercostal muscles here, let's go into this a short pranayama practice. So this is the 4 by 7 by 8 breath. So what that means is we're going to inhale for 4, we're going to hold it for 7, and then we're going to exhale for 8. Okay. If you have the Ujjayi pranayama in your practice, that back of the throat breath, that Darth Vader breath, you're welcome to bring that in here. Okay. If not, no worries, just breathe. If these numbers don't work for you today, because this does take a little practice, do what you can and don't worry about the rest. Big inhale to prepare. Exhale it all out. And here we go. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, exhale, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return to normal breath and how you feel. Great work. Gently come to all fours. So if you need, that blanket for your knee cushion stay, feel free to bring that in. I'm going to move mine out of the way. Now, you've got your traditional all fours here. We're spreading the fingers wide, rooting through the knuckles of pinky, pointer, and thumb. If this is not for your wrist, you're going to take your forearms onto your block here. Okay. And then everything else we do, you can do on the forearms. And this is how I'm going to demo. So you come to where you need to. Now check the knees. They're going to be about hip width apart. You've got a cranky low back. Then take them just a little bit wider. Tops of the feet are going to be down. Going into some cat-cows here. Inhale, chest forward, pelvis tilts back. Nice cow pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale and round. Mad cat. Still looking at the thighs. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. One more time. 3. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good. Now come back to your neutral table. So we're going to take this into opposite arm, opposite leg. So again, if you're not using the blocks, and we'll do a little stretchy here before we get going, but this is just an example. This is kind of what it's going to look like for you. Keeping a long back. We don't want to lift up too high. Then we get that sway back. So only lift to where you're comfortable here. We'll do that on both sides. This can also be done with forearms on block. Okay. I'm going to come back to that position. Good. Now, before we get going, let's come into a nice little stretch. So taking the right leg back, pressing evenly to big toe and pinky toe mound, just pressing back through that heel. Breathing. Whew. Now, if you're up on your hands, you want a little micro bend in the elbows. And whether you're on your hands or your forearms, try not to collapse here at the shoulder. You want to press that away. Good. And we'll bring that right knee back in. Let's do the same thing to the left side, extending that left leg long, pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mound, pressing through that heel. And stay with the breath. The first affirmation here is a question to give you, is where or what needs healing in my body? Where or what needs healing in my body? And then from here, good, we'll bring that back in. Good. Now from here, if you want to just come back for a moment, little child's pose, maybe, something needs a little break, then just kind of take that. I think this one feels pretty lovely on the block. And then from here, we'll come back in. So again, you're on your hands or you're on your forearms. So I'm going to start by taking my right leg back. Good. I'm going to drop that hip slightly. Maybe I keep the toe grounded. Maybe I lift a little bit. Maybe I lift a lot. And then maybe that left arm comes forward. Now your right shoulder is still working hard here. You're getting all the benefits, whether you're on the hand or the forearm. Breathe. So you're working the front and back side of the body with the core. You're also working shoulder strengthening of the supporting shoulder. Good. We'll bring down that forearm or the hand and bring down that knee. If you need to come back, a little bit of a break, let yourself get there. And then once ready, good, we'll come back. Forearms or hands, we'll go to the other side. Good, so nice strong, shoulders away from the ears, taking that left leg back, taking it where it needs to be taken. And then maybe the right arm comes forward. Breathing. And then we'll take that forearm down. We'll take the knee down. Again, little child's pose here. Good. Now from here, we're going to take this into a child's pose, and we're going to do this one with a little bit of a side bend. So you shouldn't need the blocks here, but you can keep them there for the forward part if you need to. So knees can be together. They can be as wide as it matters, somewhere in between. And just kind of take that forward, just kind of feel how that feels. Breathing and expanding. Now that question I asked you a moment ago, where or what in my body needs healing? Could you send that area some loving kindness? You know, like, I hear you, I love you, I'm willing and going to help you. And then we'll come up. Good. Let's walk those hands over to the right as you come to the right. Walk the left fingertips forward, lift the hips slightly. Good. You can press into the right hand as you sink towards the left. You can come down here as much as you need. You're getting another right side armpit and side body stretch. And today I'm actually feeling a little bit of an inner thigh stretch on the left side too. So you never know where you might feel something. And as long as you don't feel pain, numbness, tingling, burning, anything like that, then just go with it. And then we'll come up. Good. Coming back center. Just resetting the spine. And then once ready, good. Coming up a little bit, walking over to the left, walking right fingertips forward, lifting the hips slightly, pressing into the left hand, sinking towards the right. Breathing and expanding. And then we'll come up, come back to center, and reset. Good. Now, we're going to move through and take this through a downward facing dog. So some of you are going to do that on your hands, you know, and kind of just lift up and find it that way. Others are going to do this more from a dolphin perspective, but I will give you different options. So I don't recommend doing a modified down dog with your hands on the highest setting because that's not real stable there. So I recommend either this one or this one. So depending on what's going on with your wrist, sometimes it's a matter of shoulders are weak and so the wrists are compensating. So if that's the problem as you come up into your down dog, then by lifting the upper body a little higher, the lower body is taking more of the weight. Okay, so that takes some pressure off. Others, maybe you've got carpal tunnel, osteoporosis, arthritis, surgery, or something like that in there, and that still won't help you. So then you will come to forearms on your block, and you're going to come into a dolphin. So you'll touch the toes, lifting up and shifting back. Good. Now, wherever you are here, your shoulders, if you're on the forearms, are going to be behind the elbows as best as you can. Shoulders are away from the ears. If you're on your hands, you want to turn the elbows towards the ceiling or forward, more in line with the middle finger. Good. We're pressing evenly into big toe and pinky toe mounds. Knees can be bent, they can be long. You're free to lift the heels and lower the heels. You can walk the dog or walk the dolphin here, wherever it is you are. Head and neck is free. You can be in stillness. So whether you're on your hands or your forearms here, you're working that strength in that upper body. You're getting all the same benefits. And then we'll take some stillness if we took some movement. From downward facing dog, I want you to walk or step your feet forward to meet your hands, which might mean, gently coming off of your forearms the way you need to. And then if you need to lift your blocks up a little bit, you can. So I'm going to start with a little bit bent knees here. And I'm just going to shake my head yes and shake my head no. Good. Now, put the weight and the power in the feet and the legs as you lift and lengthen halfway. Good. So you can come to blocks, the floor, the shins, or the thighs. The weight's in the legs, so there shouldn't be any pressure with the wrist here. And then we'll bend those knees and come back down. Now let's take that again. Pressing through the feet and the legs. You're lifting up, nice flat back. Belly button is in. And then we'll bend those knees and come back down. Now, pressing through the feet and the legs. Come all the way up. Lifting. Exhale, hand to heart center. Finding the breath, the mountain, and the intention. Let's come to a little bit of a TikTok here. So I'm going to come to Temple Mudra. We're going to come up. So your arms to kind of squeeze the ears a little bit here. And for good measure, I'm taking my feet hip width apart. Now, if you don't have a low back, if you're something like that, you can certainly step the feet closer together or together. But from here, belly button is in, and I'm going to TikTok side to side. And I'm trying to keep shoulders and hips in that alignment. And I'm trying not to sway my hips from side to side. So I want to keep them stable. Good. And finding the breath. Good. And then we'll come up. We're going to reach. From here, big inhale to prepare. Exhale, we'll bend those knees as we come down. You can use the blocks to help you if you need to. We're going to step the right foot back. Good. And then that right knee is going to come down. So cushion that if you need to. Eventually, you want to get to a point where that knee is behind the hip versus directly underneath. This front heel should be grounded, and you want the knee and ankle in this alignment. So if you're doing something like this, that's too far forward. If your heel's coming up like that, your foot needs to be more forward. Now, you can use blocks here to help you. And I'm going to use mine to help me. Good. But you may not need that. You could always come here. Belly button is in, and we're just going to breathe. Good. And hands on the block shouldn't aggravate the wrist. If they do, you can come to the fist here, but it shouldn't. The weight is in the lower body. So you should kind of, be able to free your hand. Next affirmation is I am healthy and full of energy. I am healthy and full of energy. If you're practicing with a wrist issue today, you can say, my wrist issues do not define me. My wrist issue does not define me. And it does not keep me from doing things I like to do. I just have to do them in a different way. And then from here, once you're ready, good. We'll take that back. It's going to come back just a little bit here. We'll come forward. We're going to take this into a twist. Good. So your right hand can come to a block or the floor. It's kind of be where you need to be there. Find your length and then open up. Good. So there is a little bit of pressure here on the wrist if you've got the hand. So I recommend using a block. That'll give you a little bit more lift. Lower body will take the load, takes the pressure out of the wrist. And then we'll take that back down. Good. Now I'm going to shift back a little bit here. Good. I'm going to tuck the back toe. You can use your blocks or not, but the back leg is going to step forward. Good. And once you step forward, good, we'll have that little fold. Good. Shaking the head, yes. Shaking that head, no. Good. Now, I'm going to lift and lengthen, nice long back. We're going to step the left foot back today. Left foot back is going to come back. Good. So lower or cushion is what I meant to say. Cushion that left knee as needed. I'm going to work my right leg a little bit more forward here. So hip, knee, and toe track. Heel is grounded. Knee is over or behind the wrist. Knee is behind the hip if you can get it there. Hands can be on your blocks for support, or you can be here. Just kind of, take it where you need to take it. And breathe. And maybe envision here, what would your life be like if you were in perfect health? Now, perfect health for you is going to be different than perfect health for me. So envision that according to what that means to you. What would your life be like if you were in perfect health? There may be some things that you literally just cannot change. And so try not to focus on those. Focus on the things that are changeable. And then from here, then we'll just come back just a little bit here. And then we'll come back in. So preparing for that twist, left hand is going to come to the block or to the floor. Good. And then we'll twist to the right. And once we're ready, we'll take that down. Now, this time, instead of coming forward to standing, I'm going to take this foot back and we're going to come onto the belly. So we're going to find ourselves on the belly. And we're going to come into a sphinx pose here. A sphinx pose here. So this one is done on the forearms anyway. I'm going to make sure that my hands, though, are a little bit forward and to the side of the mat. Elbows are going to be down. Legs are about hip width apart. And my belly button is drawn up and in into the belly, rolling shoulders back. So now when I come up, I'm going to press into my forearms and my elbows as I come up. Okay. Now, you only want to come up to the point where your shoulders are away from the ears and there's no crunching in the low back. Okay. So everyone will be at a little bit of a different height. Good. Now, if you want to feel something just a little bit more special and it's safe for you to do so, energetically, you're going to take your chest forward, elbows back towards you. And your elbows won't actually move, but you'll feel something a little bit more special in that upper back. And we'll breathe. Good. And then we'll gently lower that down. Good. You need to kind of wiggle the hips a little back here. You can. Good. So I'm just going to bring my blocks back in here because I know I'm going to use them in a moment. Good. From here, and you can even push through the forearms and the elbows, come back and find a child's pose. Notice how you feel. Notice the breath. Notice the body. Now from here, we're all going to take a dolphin. So again, if coming to the floor is too deep for some of you, you can always take your forearms back here if you like that. Again, if you've got a shoulder issue, cranky shoulder, the blocks might be a little bit better for you because again, that's going to lift up the upper body and distribute more weight to the back body. If you don't have that issue, I'll just kind of show that. It'll just kind of be here. Some of you, this is, might be all you can handle for dolphin today. Others might come up here. Okay. So you can also not use your blocks if you don't need those. Forearms can come to the ground. Maybe this is just where you want to practice. You can also tuck the toes, lifting up and shifting back. So kind of find yours. I'm going to stay right here. My shoulders are over or behind my elbows. Head and neck is free in dolphin. I'm pressing through big toe and pinky toe mounds. I'm breathing. Good. And how about I welcome positive and healthy energy with open arms. I welcome positive and healthy energy with open arms. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We're going to drop that down and come back up. Good. Now, we're going to come back up to standing. So you can certainly go into a downward facing dog, walk, step, or hop your feet forward. Those of you that aren't really into that, don't want to do that, you can just, use your blocks if you need to, or just step one foot in front of the other and then come up to standing from here. So find the standing position in the way that's best for you to get there. And we're going to go into some standing postures. So we're going to step back here into a warrior two. I'm going to start by stepping back, and I'm actually going to take my other block to the other side. So it's there when I do. Good. So I'm going to step back with the right foot. Good. And I'm about at least hip width apart here. So I'm going to start with the railroad track. Good. My back leg is going to turn out 45 degrees. Rotation is from the hip. Good. I'm going to take the front hip back though, just a little bit. And then keeping my hips where they are, I'm going to rotate from the chest and reach. Better way to say that, rotating from the waist, torso. Good. Now, hip, knee, and toe of this front foot are tracking forward. You should be able to see the toe. Knee is over behind the ankle. Get into the heel. That'll help take some of it out of the knee. You can also lengthen as needed. I'm pressing through the back edge of the back foot and the back heel. Breathe. Good. Notice what you feel. Notice where you feel it. And good. I'm going to lengthen the front leg. And we're going to take this into triangle from here. So I'm in a good position with my legs in my alignment for triangle on this side. If you need to come a little bit shorter, a little bit wider, always feel free to do so. But from here, good. My front hip's going to come back. My back hip's going to come forward. I'm strong through the back edge of the foot. Good. I've got a little softness in the front knee just so it's not locked. And I'm going to lengthen. I'm rooting into my feet like I'm trying to rip my mat apart from one side to the other. When I can come no more, you can take a thigh, you can take a shin. Again, you can take the block any height and open up. Good. So whether your hand is on a block or to the floor, remember the weight, the power is in the legs. So one day, maybe you don't even need to take a hand somewhere. You can just come right here. Actually, I'm a little bit more open than I thought I was. So I'm going to come right here. And breathing. Front hip is back hip is forward. Good. Loving thoughts, the part of your body that needs healing. Remember, I am healthy and full of energy. I'm focusing on the parts of my health that I am able to change with lifestyle and diet. I welcome positive and healthy energy with open arms. Good. Now we'll look down at that front foot. We'll put a bend in that front knee and come up and lengthen. So we're going to take this now into a pyramid. So I'm going to bring my block forward here, just like that. And I'm going to swivel up this back foot. So I'm on parallel railroad track. Good. So from here, front hip is back hip is forward. I'm going to lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Hands can come to the thighs, the shin, floor, or the block. I'm going to use a block. I'm pressing back to that back leg. Now, again, you could come to forearms here if you're able to get that low. You can also put up another block here. I recommend more that way, just so that your blocks don't tumble. But you can always just kind of Let the hands rest off of here as well. Remember, the weight, the pressure here is not in the upper body. It's in the feet, it's in the legs, it's in the hips, it's in the core. Finding length. This is about the front hamstring here. It's in charge. And then once you're ready, good, I'm going to put a bend in that front knee. Good, I'm going to take my block here, just kind of walking myself up. That's a little bit of a balance challenge and coming through center. Now we're going to come to a forward fold. So wide-legged forward fold. So I've got hips, knees, and toes rotating forward, and I'm zipped up through the center. The block is here in case you need it. Not everybody does. But from here, big inhale and reach. I'm pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Exhale and come forward. Now, your hands can come to that block. They can come to the floor. You can stay here. Remember, again, the weight's in the feet and the legs. You can bend the elbows back and come to the elbows. You can take a block under the head, which is what I'm doing. Just kind of take it where you need to take it. Use your blocks as you need to. Blocks are optional here. Little micro bend in the knees. Kind of feel the hips opening up. Feeling the inner thighs opening up. Shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, once you're ready, good. Let's come up just a little bit. Hands on blocks or the floor, a little bit of a bend in the knees. We'll walk that back up. Good. Just take a moment if you need to here. And then we're going to repeat that whole series to the other side. So I'm going to heel toe everything in and then step. And then coming over here to my other side. Now it's going to be my left leg that steps back. My left leg is going to step back, and I'm going to start just with kind of a little bit of a parallel railroad track here. Good. Going to that left leg, hip, knee, and toe will turn out 45 degrees. Good. Rotations from the hip, not from the knee. Front hip will come back hip will come forward. From the torso, open to the side and reach. Remember, front knee tracks towards pinky toe. Give that alignment a little bit of a check. Hip, knee, and toe track. Good. Toes pointing forward. Good. You should have that knee over behind the ankle. Relax through the shoulders. Breathing. Good. And then from here, when you're ready, good. We'll lengthen that front leg and we'll prepare for a triangle on this side. So front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. Readjust your alignment here as needed. And then from here, good. From the hip, I'm going to reach, 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 reach. When I can go no more, take a thigh, take a chin, take your block at any height, take the floor. Again, I may not need the block today. Good. And we'll come up. Good. So you can also come to a fist, but again, remember, there really shouldn't be hanging and pressure on the hand, whether you're on a block or the floor, because this is all in the legs. Okay, so we'll open up. So really activate your muscles. Some people say my classes are hard, but that's because I train you to activate your muscles. Otherwise, you're hanging in your flexibility, and that makes everything around the joint unstable. Use your muscles. That's where your strength comes from. Your physical strength, that is. Breathing in. How about Healthy, vibrant energy flows through my body naturally. Healthy, vibrant energy flows through my body naturally. Good. Now, looking down at that front foot, we'll put a bend in that knee and we'll come back up. Good. So now we're going to go back to parallel railroad track. I'm just going to turn that back leg up here. And I'm going to bring my block in here. Good. So then from here, front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm pressing back through the back heel. Back heel's not grounded. Good. And I'm going to lengthen. Good. And you can stop at the thigh, the shin, the block, the floor. If you're able to, again, maybe you can come down to the forearms here. But even if your hands are on a block, remember the weight is in the leg. So there shouldn't be a whole lot of pressure in the wrist here. Because again, power's in the leg. And for me, you just saw that. So I've got the power in the leg. My comfort is taking my hands to the block right now. Okay. So breathing. Good. Now from here, when you're ready, then I'm going to put a bend in that front knee. Good. And I'm just going to come up and then just kind of come back here. We're going to do one more little forward fold. This one will not be as long as the last one. It's just a little bit of a balance here. So pressing through the outer edges of the feet. Good. We're zipped up, nice and tall. Good. From the hips. Good. We'll fold. You can come to the block. You can come to the floor. You can keep going to the forearms. Maybe the head wants a block. Maybe it doesn't need a block. So pressing through the outer edges of the feet is a good practice. It keeps the knees tracking well and from falling in. We don't want them to fall in. And then from here, pressing through the feet. Good. A little bend in the knees, a little walk up there. Good. We're going to come down to the floor. So I'm just going to kind of heel toe, and step it in. And then you just come to the floor, however you would need to come to the floor. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way now. I'm going to bring my blanket back in. Good. And I'm just going to do that here. Good. So I'm going to sit on my blanket. I'm going to take my legs forward. Good. Good. I'm pointing the toes towards the face. Watch this. We don't want this. So kind of make your feet like they're flat on a wall in front of you. Good. You can always cushion behind the knees if you need that. Tight hamstrings, big inhale. Exhale, long back first. Then take the arms down. You can stay there if you need to keep a flat back, or if you're safe, you can continue to fold in. Now, we had that strap earlier. So if you need to bring a strap in here to reach the feet, you can always bring that in. Breathing. Really try to expand that rib cage. Really work on opening up those intercostal muscles. Those are the muscles between the ribs. They allow the rib cage to expand so that the lungs can expand and get better air. And then from here, good, we'll come up. All right, let's take this into a boat pose. A boat pose. Work those abs a little bit here. Good. So from here, you can always dock your boat. If you need to come back here, you can always put hands on blocks if needed. Otherwise, you can come here a little bit. Nice long back. You can let go. You can take the legs long if you want to. That's not good for me today, so I'm going to stay right here. Relaxing the shoulders. We're breathing. Belly button is in. Notice while you're here, if you have more pressure on one sits bone than the other? And how could you balance that out? If I don't pay attention, I have more pressure on my left than my right. Then when you're ready, good. We'll take that back, take that forward, good, and just a gentle fold to come out of there. Right. We're going to take this into a forearm plank, a forearm plank. So I'm going to turn to the side here. So I'm going to start on my left side. Okay. So there's different ways that you can do this, and we'll go through that. So knees down or knees lifted. But I'm going to take my forearm down here. So your shoulder is going to be over or behind the ankle. Where your forearm is along here is just, like a comfort zone. You'll probably see more in pictures coming this way, but it's a matter of what feels best to your shoulder. Okay, so for me, it feels best today on this side in this moment to have a little bit of an angle. Okay, so then you want to stack your knees if you're going to do a knee down version, and we'll just go through all of the steps. So zipping up, shoulder away from the ear. Good. Maybe this is your knee down side plank. Maybe you take a leg long. Maybe you don't need the knees down. So to help myself get there, my right leg is forward, my left leg is long. Good. I'm going to use this to help me get up there, and then maybe you can come to the stack. Okay. Now, watch that you're not doing this. You want everything out to the side. Chest and hips face out to the side. Woo. And then once you're ready, we'll take that down. Good. We will just take the feet right over to the other side. Same option, same setup on this side. The only exception is, if you need to do something different here. Otherwise, set yourself up for success. Good. Are you going to use knee and a leg? Are you going to kind of help yourself get there like I need to from here? This is a really powerful pose, doing both legs long. So from here, when you're ready, find it where you need it. You can always stay here too. Good. Hips, chest, face forward. Breathing. This is my stronger side today. And then from here, we'll take that down. Good job. Shake it out. Come onto the back. Once you come onto the back, gonna roll the shoulders around a little bit here, maybe taking feet as wide as the mat. Good. Nice little sway, side to side. And we're gonna get nice and stretchy here. So I'm gonna bring my feet about hip width apart, cross the right ankle over the left knee. Good, this might be your figure 4, or you can bring it in towards the face. You can thread it through here. Upper body stays grounded though. And you can rock here as what feels good to you. Okay. How about it comes naturally for me to feel good and healthy? It comes naturally for me to feel good and healthy. Now, if you've got, a chronic issue, that might be easier said than done. But I'm going to encourage you to try to work on changing the mindset. And we'll gently release. We're going to take this into a figure 4 twist. So because we're not doing any inversions here, I'm just going to go ahead and take my blanket under my head because that'll feel good for Shavasana. I'm just going to let everything go over towards the left. If this kind of twist doesn't feel good to your body, undo and just do a basic supine twist here. And breathe. Good. Feel that lower to mid back, maybe the hip, maybe the outer thigh. If you're not used to keeping both shoulders down, maybe you're getting a little bit of a chest stretch here. And then undoing the legs and taking them back one leg at a time, or using the abs to bring them all back as a single unit. We'll undo. If you need to wiggle, give your body what it needs. And then we will cross the left ankle over the right knee. You can stay here. You can bring it in just like this. Maybe you foot it through. Maybe you rock it. Maybe you be still. Find your figure four where you need to find your figure four. Good. How about I enjoy existing in a natural state of well-being? I enjoy existing in a natural state of well-being. And we'll release. Good. Now, from here, going into that figure four twist or doing the basic supine twist, whatever it is that you need. And then breathing. And again, do you notice something about the same or different on the side? The only wrong answer is if there's pain, numbness, tingling, or burning somewhere. If we're feeling that, we always want to back off. And then as you're ready, one leg at a time, we're using the abs to bring them all back together, back to center. Good, we'll undo and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Maybe bringing the knees into the chest here. We are going into Shavasana here. We made it. So you can bring in any props that you have to make you more comfortable here. I'm using my folded blanket as a neck pillow. I'm going to be in constructive rest today, but you can certainly, let everything come along and flop open. You can be on your side. You can be on your belly. Just be where you can be still for a few short moments without fidgeting. And the final affirmation thought that I'm going to give you for your Shavasana today is I am a magnet for healthy, uplifting, empowering energy. I am a magnet for healthy, uplifting, and empowering energy. Turning to some deeper breath. Choose stillness or gently take head and neck from side to side. Maybe also wiggling fingers and toes. Choose stillness or bring the knees into the chest. Choosing to keep the upper body grounded on the floor or maybe lift it up into a full body hug. And choosing stillness or moving any props out of the way if you used any. Taking legs long in front of you, arms long behind you, and reach and lengthen from the edge of the fingertips to the edge of the toes. full body stretch, pointing and flexing through the hands, or pointing and flexing through the feet, bending and stretching through the hands, rolling wrists and ankles in one direction and then in the other. And then from here, once you're ready, bending in both knees, and you choose rolling over to the right or left side, the side that works best for your body in this moment, taking all the time that you need to. And when you're ready, get carefully coming up in the way that's best for you to a seat. Noticing how you feel. Fingertips to the side, palms turning up. Inhale and deep. As you look up at those hands, watch them as they come down, touching the thumbs at the forehead for good and true thoughts. To the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving heart, knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you have a wonderful, healthy, and healing week ahead. Namaste.